Hi guys, this is Albert the analyst, and yeah. So the thing is, everybody's always indoors whenever they're like recording videos or posting videos or doing videos. So I think I'm gonna be outdoors when I do videos. For the most part, I guess, because why not be different from everybody else, right? So yeah. With that being said, let's get straight into some of the results that for the Prefontaine Classic. We're going to be focusing firstly on the men's 100 meters. So, of course, this one was won by Kishane Thompson with a time of 9.85. Now, the win, not surprising at all. The time, not surprising at all either. Because the truth of the matter is, we sometimes put pressure on these athletes when we beg for fast times. They themselves put pressure on themselves to win, right? So sometimes when both pressures are on, you might just get something slower than a 9.6, like a 9.85. But it's not times that get us paid; it's wins that get us paid. So let's keep that in mind. So I want to tell you the prediction that I had for this race, and then I'm going to tell you the results of the race. So for the men's 100 meters, I had predicted that Kishane would win it, with Trayvon Bromell second, Akeem Blake third, and I said that Coleman and Brandon Hicklin are my two dark horses. Now, of course, Kishane ran 9.75 at the national trials just last week in Jamaica, so I wouldn't have been shocked at all if he went 9.7. Trayvon Bromell would have had the world lead before Oblique and Kishane started, having a back and forth with the world lead at trials last week. And then, of course, Akeem Blake, running a splendid 9.88 to come third at the trials last week. And I just felt like he had enough in the tank to come third again yesterday. And then Coleman and Brandon have been, so in Coleman's case, he's consistently been close to, 10 seconds. Each time he races, he might not be winning, but he's close to 10. And I said it in my, preview of the Diamond League race, or races, that once you're close to the 10-second barrier, then there will always be a possibility that you're going to strike far below it, or maybe even just below it. For example, Brandon Hicklin has now run two wind legal sub-10s back to back after consistently going close to 10 seconds all season long. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of factor that in mind, that once you're running close to 10 as a man or running close to 11 as a woman, you are able to make, you're within striking distance of sub 10 or sub 11. And that makes you dangerous. Now, as for the results, Kishane came first, Zarnell Hughes came second, Trayvon Bromell came third, Brandon Hicklin came fourth, Akeem came fifth, Bayanda Walaza sixth, Christian Coleman seventh, Lachlan Kennedy eighth, and then Jeremiah Azu ninth. As I said, I expected Kishane's win. Not surprised at all that the time isn't as fast as we hoped for, because pressure, him coming off of that splendid outing that he had at the Jamaican trials, all of those would have factored in. For Zarnell Hughes, if you go back to my preview of the Prefontaine Classic, I would have mentioned that I expect Zarnell Hughes to be able to give me a sub 10, considering where we are in the season. Thank you for that sub 10, Zarnell. Trayvon Bromell, he came third. I had him initially predicted second. So not much of a difference really. Once I predict you for a top 3, I expect for you to be able to come top 3, whether first, second, or third. So great going there from Bromell, just showing some consistency, especially running under the 10-second barrier. So that's awesome. One of my dark horses, that's Brandon Hicklin. He came fourth. He ran sub 10. Not shocked at all. As I said, once you're consistently consistently close to 10, you can strike under 10. And then now Akeem Blake, who of course I initially had in my top 3, came fifth with a time of 10.03. I was hoping for a sub 10 at least from Akeem, but again, the Jamaicans are coming off of what was a very adrenaline filled trials. And so if they're having a tiny bit of a technically they're coming down from like a high, so performances for like the next 1 to 2 weeks might not be as as great yet, because they're trying to come down from that high, get over the fact that they made the team, and then get back to the drawing board. Bayanda Walaza, he came 6th. Very proud of this young man. He might not be winning against these big boys, but he's learning how to beat the big boys. I mean, he beat Christian Coleman, who came 7th. So he's learning how to compete with them, and eventually he's going to be beating them. He has a lot of potential, so let's see what he does in the future. Christian Coleman, he came 7th, equal season's best, with a 10.06. Again, very close to 10. While we have been hoping for better from Coleman, I want us to keep in mind that considering the fact that he's so close to 10, please don't act shocked if he pulls out a 9.8 at any time out of his hat. And then there's Lachlan Kennedy, 10.07. And yeah, I expected that, just close to 10, but maybe not among the mix when it comes on to the top 3. And then Jeremiah Azu, 10.20. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a bit more from Jeremiah, considering how well he did indoors. So I'm hoping to get that. Now on to the men's 200 meters. For this one, I initially predicted that the winner would be Kenny Benerick, but of course he pulled out, and so I had to change it around a bit. So I changed it to where it would be Letsile Tebogo first, Jareem Richards second, and then my dark horses were Alexander Ogando and Brian Lavelle. For the results, Letsile Tebogo won like I predicted with a world lead of 19.76. Courtney Lindsay came second with a season's best of 19.87, which is really great going. And then one of my dark horses, Alexander Ogando, came third with 19.94. Robert Gregory fourth in 20.04. Jareem Richards fifth. Brian Lavelle sixth. Aaron Brown seventh. Joseph Fanbule eighth. Kyrie King ninth. For Letsile Tebogo, he loves a good show, putting on a good show, and he loves doing it against the fastest men in the world. So I expected him to do this. I'll never forget last year at during the Olympic season when he did this video where he said something like they're running some very fast times out there, and we need to be somewhere in the midst. And he went on to win the 200 meters at the Olympics, and look at him now, bouncing back from injury, and running a 19.76 world lead. So he's right in the midst as he wants to be. Courtney Lindsay, always very consistent on the circuit, over 100 and 200. I am never surprised when he goes sub 10 or sub 20 because of that consistency. Honestly, I in retrospect, I can't believe I ever counted him out of my predictions. But thank you, Courtney, for letting me know that, hey, I'm here and I'm here to stay. One of my dark horses, as I said, Alexander Ogando, came third because he's been doing well this season. I watched his progression and such, and I decided to make him a dark horse, and he's proven to be a stallion with a 19.94, so that's amazing. Some other persons to note: Jareem Richards came fifth. I initially had him in my top 3. Considering the fact that, considering how well he's been doing at Grand Slam, that is why I placed him in my top 3 initially. But of course, not all the times will we be able to pull out the performance that we know we can. So that's fine. I'm expecting him to bounce back even faster. And then in one of my dark horses, Brian Lavelle came 6th with a time of 20.25. Which is, it's a bit of, I would say it's a decent time considering the fact, as I said, him and other Jamaicans would be coming off of a high-octane trials from just last week, so that's okay. Joseph Fanbule. Joseph, I think you're an amazing guy. I think your top-end speed is second to none active right now. I need Joseph to work on his first 100 because his last 100 is splendid. And I'm hoping to see more of that soon. You can't depend on your last 100 to beat these boys, not anymore. So please keep that in mind. But yeah, that's about it when it comes on to my review. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another one. Peace.